Hey guys, welcome back. So we are working on the exhaust. Show you a few things. So we got the muffler kind of up in position. So look here on the ground, I kind of have this laid out about how I'm thinking of doing it. So the muffler has dual exits, so you can see those two pipes. One makes a 90 and goes to the tip. The other one makes a 180. It'll go to the other side and then 90 into a tip, something like that. So there's our two outlets. So this is a chambered, this is actually a Flowmaster 40 series chambered muffler. So you can kind of see in there. These are 2.5 inch outlets, so we're going to cut that and modify it so it'll be 3-inch outlets. But here's the problem we're running into. So here's the subframe, and you can see we got the muffler pushed pretty far back. But I kind of need it pushed back because I need room over here to run that other pipe across. I've tried moving this muffler in several spots, and this seems to be our easiest way to route pipes. But there's one problem. We got to get this pipe into the inlet, and you can see we haven't made it yet. We're working on it, but this is really tight bend, so we'll see. We're still working on it. So right here, we got this pipe just kind of tacked. It's got 3 or 4 tacks holding it, but you'll note these actually just have blue tape. So this works pretty well if you're doing fab work. What I do is I take some acetone on like a rag, just wipe the pipes down, get them real clean, which you'd want to clean them anyway if you're going to weld them. But once they're clean, you just butt them up together really well and then wrap tape around it. And I mean, this, like, watch this. I'm going to shake the whole pipe. I'm shaking the car. Like, this works really good. So it holds everything in alignment. Very nice. This is definitely a way to hold things when you're doing fab work. So big problem we got is this radius, and I don't think this bend's gonna make it. It's kind of, maybe I can do a view from here. And you can kind of see that looks like it's gonna miss. So these bends, let's look on the ground here. Grab a tape measure. So let's see. Here's a tape measure. So if we did the center to center, that's roughly about there. That's about a 9-inch center to center on the bends. These are very, I guess that's probably standard, but anyway, 4.5-inch radius, I suppose. But I needed a tighter radius. So what we ended up doing is up to this point, we're using regular bends, but this next one here, I'm essentially pie cutting a bend. So this is a curved piece of pipe cut right out of a U-bend. It's hard to capture that, but anyway, I'm pie cutting it to get the angle. So I'm going to put a few of these to try to basically take this and go and hook that a lot sharper, but you can tell it's going to miss. So we may have to go back to this one and start pie cutting it to make room. We'll see. But I'll bring you guys back once we make a little more progress, and I'll show you what we ended up with. Alright, so we've made 0 progress since the last time. But let me show you what I'm thinking. So we can kind of tell this bend is probably, there's basically no way that's going to work. By the time this bend comes around, it's going to end up like, over here somewhere. That's not a tight enough radius. So we're going to have to back up and change this piece, which is easy because it's just taped on there. However, what we're going to need is more of these. This is our little pie cut piece. So I'm going to probably end up taking this part and doing a short straight section. So you can see here about the subframe, it has a bend right now, and one of the reasons it bends is so that it gets away from the subframe. But you can kind of tell it could have come straight a little bit and then put a sharper pie cut. And I think that's what we're going to end up with. However, we don't have to commit to that right now. So whether we do that or not, I know I'm going to need a few more of these pie cuts to get into the muffler. So I'm going to go ahead and make, 2-3 more of those. And then I'll probably, put them here, tape it up, see if there's any way to make that work, which I don't think there is. And since that's probably not going to work, I can just untape it and then back up to here. We'll get a short straight piece and then start taping that together and see if we can piece this together. But the cool thing is I have to cut these pieces anyway, and it's just taped, so it's easy to undo and redo until we figure out what's going to work. So I'll cut some more pieces and bring you back. Alright, here's what we ended up with. So we did move the muffler a little, but not much. I was actually able to make this tight radius bend reach. So I know this looks kind of messy. It's the just from all the tape. this piece does move up. It's just sagging because this is loose. I'll fix that in a second. Anyway, that is the muffler. We finally got this bend figured out, and well, they're not on the ground anymore, but those other two look like those will work out all right without having to do all these pie cuts in the radius. So hopefully it'll be easier from here. We're about to begin tack welding this section together. Alright, here we go. So we got all this mocked up and tacked. We did keep the muffler roughly where it was. We got these bends pie cut pretty tight. And 1, 2, 3, about 5 sections we had to tack weld. And look at this. This turned out nice. All lined up pretty good. Fitment's pretty good. So next step, we're going to drop the entire exhaust system and these sections that we tack welded. We may go ahead and tack this last one since it's already there. So yeah, we'll probably tack weld this, then drop this out, weld all that, put it back up here, do our final lineup on the muffler, probably tack the muffler, go from there. I guess after that, I don't know. We need to put hangers on it at some point. So once the muffler's hanging on it, I kind of probably want to do hangers at that point. So I don't want all that weight. Right now it's just kind of laying on the braces and the V-bands. So I'd like to fix that. Yep, got this going together. We were able to get this tight bend, so this will look better when it's all final welded and cleaned, but it's not too bad. This turned out okay, and the next side's coming out on this other side where we do our dual exits. So this, you can see this pipe, this one's easy. So it'll just come out, make a 90, right out the exit. That one's easy. And this other one, it's fairly straightforward. You just do a 180 and go that way. And then hopefully from that point, just 90 in, but I think we're actually, when we make this 180, it's gonna like hook and be over here. So I think we're gonna have to kick it a little that way to bring it back and then turn to make the tip. We'll see. It's either that or we gotta pie cut this one, and that's a lot of work. So we'll see, but this is good. This is going good. So that's where we're at. Hey guys, welcome back. So we got this tacked up. We went ahead and tacked on that last straight section here. I think it's got to tack on here and on the bottom somewhere. And we went ahead and built one hanger. So you can see I got it slid off on the top. We're about to drop this exhaust and finish welding this section. But yeah, we just took some 1/4-inch rod, bent it around a couple ways to make a hanger, went ahead and tacked it on. Because I wanted, frankly, removing and installing this exhaust one person kind of difficult, so I need a hanger to hold it. We're going to have to build a couple more hangers. This is just the first one, but I'll document the others and show you guys how I did it. Alright guys, so I got me a little $20 tripod, so now we can do still shots a lot smoother. So anyway, here's the inside of a U-bend. We got the inside radiuses welded, so it's real tight getting in there. I don't have exactly the right tools, so my TIG welder, here I'll kind of show you. So see the back end here? It's real long, so what happens is you try to get in here and weld and it's running into everything. They make stubby ones. I just need to buy it. So add that to the list. But we were able to get this inside done, so I'm knocking off for the night, but we'll come back tomorrow and finish welding this and fit it to the car. And my plan is, so this little straight section here, the muffler slides onto this and will be welded on. So once this gets installed on the car, we'll be putting the muffler on temporarily. I'm going to crank it up and I want to hear how it sounds with the new muffler. See if it's going to be obscene or acceptable or whatnot. So we'll go from there. Also, you can kind of see in the picture, we have one exhaust hanger. I'm going to move this a little bit so you can get a little bit better view. There it is. So we got one hanger on there. It's welded. We're going to have to do more, but at least we have one, and this makes installing and removing the exhaust a lot easier because that front V-band, probably need to put a hanger up there. I haven't done it yet. But anyway, some progress is better than none. Also keep that in mind on your builds. Even if you don't feel like doing much, if you can just get an hour or two of work done every day, it adds up. Alright guys. So here's our exhaust. We just got this section finished welding and cleaned it up. So there's that front V-band, go to the rear. This is where we snake past the diff through all those braces, and we got this really sharp U-bend to turn into the muffler. This was a pain. Let me zoom in a little. So you can see these are actual mandrel bends that we pie cut. So it's not quite as bad as a regular pie cut. But yeah, you can see we really had to cheat that radius to get that hooked in there. But it looks like this is going to work. So about to install this on the car. We're going to got one exhaust hanger hooked on. And you can just see it's tacked there, but it's actually... kind of see that? It's fully welded on the other side. Maybe that's showing up. But anyway, that's welded. So we're going to pop this on the car. We're just going to slide the muffler on. It's a Flowmaster 40 series. Fire it up, see how it sounds. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today. So we got the muffler on, and tomorrow we're going to fire this up and do a little engine start up from a cold start, let it warm up, let it idle, see how it sounds, give it some revs and whatnot. So look forward to that tomorrow. Y'all take it easy.